I live in a pretty quiet suburban neighborhood. It's the kind of place where you don't expect anything unusual to happen, where kids play in the streets during the day and nothing moves after dark except the occasional car pulling into a driveway. One weekend, my parents went out of town, leaving me in charge of the house. I was fine with it. I liked the solitude, and I figured it would be a perfect time to relax, watch some movies, and stay up late on my phone without anyone telling me otherwise. It was a Saturday night. A little after midnight, I was lying on the couch in the living room, wearing a blue t-shirt and scrolling through my phone. The house was silent except for the ticking of the clock on the wall and the faint hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. At some point, I got that strange feeling that I wasn't as alone as I thought. You know that sense when your body reacts before your mind understands why. I lowered my phone and glanced at the window across the room. At first, I thought I just saw my own reflection, but then I realized the reflection wasn't moving the same way I was. There was someone outside. A figure was pressed against the glass, so still that for a moment I questioned if it was even real. My eyes adjusted to the darkness, and I could make out the faint outline of a tall man. His face was hidden in the shadows, but I could feel his eyes locked onto me. I froze. My first instinct was to convince myself it wasn't happening. Maybe it was a trick of the light, or maybe one of my neighbors. But no, nobody stands completely still at someone's window at midnight. I reached slowly for my phone, never taking my eyes off the figure, and then it buzzed in my hand. A text message from an unknown number. It said, "I like your blue shirt." My chest tightened. My hands started to shake. Whoever was outside not only saw me, but also somehow had my phone number. I didn't want to turn my back to the window, but I forced myself to back away toward the hallway, trying to put some distance between me and that thing staring at me. I dialed 911 with trembling fingers. The dispatcher picked up, and I whispered that someone was outside my house, staring in through the window. She told me to stay calm, lock all the doors, and that officers were on their way. I hurried through the house, locking the front door, the back door, and even the garage entry. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear anything else. Every creak of the floorboards under my feet made me feel like I was giving myself away. When I returned to the living room, the window was empty. The man was gone. I stood, frozen, gripping the phone against my ear. The dispatcher kept asking me if I was safe, but I couldn't answer right away. I was staring at the glass. There were faint condensation marks where someone had been pressing their face against it. The police arrived about 15 minutes later. They searched the yard, the driveway, and even the woods across the street, but they didn't find anyone. One of the officers told me it was probably a prank and not to worry too much. Easy for him to say. When they finally left, I sat back on the couch, still shaken, still gripping my phone like a lifeline. That's when it buzzed again. Another message. Same unknown number. It said, "See you soon."